What's going on, everybody? How you doing? In today's video, we are continuing on with this tech tour documentary, which I thought was just 6 parts. And then I was informed in the comments, hey, this is actually hours and hours long. This is actually hours and hours long, and this is only part 1, which is sound. There's also lights, instrument techs, video, and road manager. I didn't see any of that. Amazing, right? Totally amazing. So you know what that means? That means that June is documentary month. Because it's a lot more than I thought. What I expected. Totally fine. I'm totally fine with it. You guys probably aren't because you want Clockwork Angels. That's tough shit. That's not coming yet. So because I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, it doesn't make sense for me to just jump, you know, I mean, you guys may want it, but to me, I'm just like, no, I need to finish this, right? Why would I do that and then jump back? Why would I do that and then jump back? That's crazy. So, I mean, I already do that enough because at the beginning of this, I didn't like structure it and kind of like map it out and plan it out. And I don't leave space, you know, like I don't take a day off of videos, right, to like kind of do all that. I just go. Maybe all this is really bad and I shouldn't be doing it that way, but it's whatever. This is how it's happening and it's fine, right? Nobody's dying, so it's fine. Okay, so I got all the others. I was able to find all the other sections, and I chopped them all up, and the cat is here apparently, if you heard that. And we are starting lights today because that's the second part, lights. So I'm just gonna roll, you know, I'm gonna roll through it, and I'm gonna have the live stuff at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. whenever the hell I'm doing it. That's gonna end at the middle of the month. R30 is gonna end on the 13th, and then I'm gonna start another live, probably Snakes and Arrows live after that. So we're doing lights right now. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos. Check it out, playlists, all kinds of stuff. Check it out. If you like the channel, you want to support the channel, all kinds of ways. I do donation requests. All that information is in the description below. Thank you guys. Okay, so lights, part 1. Let's do it.
Here we are, living the dream
This
again.
Guy, it's the bus.
This is really bad that this light looks like that.
Okay, we'll have to swap that.
2-minute warning for everyone. Stand by, please.
If you really screwed up, you could cause a catastrophic failure.
Mothership, here it is. It's what makes all the magic happen. Spots ready? Go.
I mean, it is cool, and I know that you guys
the
think that it's cool.
legendary
Also,
Canadian rock band
like
Rush has enjoyed an impressive record-breaking career that has spanned 3 decades and produced over 30 albums. All the while winning the respect of music critics and the hearts of devoted fans around the world. Since releasing their first album back in 1974, Rush has sold over 40 million records. They've toured the world many times over, selling out hundreds of live stadium-rocking shows. When guitarist Alex Lifeson, drummer Neil Peart, and lead vocalist, bassist Geddy Lee go on tour, they bring with them some heavy artillery. 7 tractor trailers hauling an entire stage production. Lights, video, pyro, sound, along with 40 men and women whose job it is to set it all up.
Everything with red tape on the back stays right.
I mean, have I seen a woman
Run
yet?
it.
House lights go. 2.
Is it men and women, or is
And tear it down.
it just men?
All in the
Not that I
course of a
specifically
grueling
care. I'm just
18-hour
like,
day.
You said men and women. I don't see women anywhere. We'll see. Maybe they're in video, or in lights, or in one of the other sections, basically. But I didn't see them in sound.
Life on the road with a rock band can be both exhausting and exciting, especially during a 4-month, 48-concert run like the Rush North American Snakes and Arrows Tour. And Anyone who has ever experienced a live Rush concert knows that their stage lighting with its lasers, futuristic pods, and over 130 moving lights is one of the most important elements to the overall concert experience. On this tour, the man responsible for the light show is production designer, lighting director, Howard Ungerleider. At each venue, before Howard's team can fire up the lighting rig, head rigger John Fletcher and his crew must map out both the sound and lighting rig's lifting points and secure the motorized lifting chains needed to raise this rock and roll show off the arena floor.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Normally, this occurs the morning of each performance. However, today, in Quebec City, John Fletcher is pre-rigging this hockey arena the day before the show.
We're in Quebec City, the Coliseum. The building is built in the 50s, I think. Normally this is a one-day load-in. Due to the age of the building, that little bitty ramp right there, and our time frame. You know, luckily we had it. We would have done this in one day if we didn't have a choice.
Right.
But it had been a very long day. So, you know, instead of taking that, we took a smarter decision, I think. And usually I request it when I do a show in here, is we take a day to pre-rig. So that's our reason for loading in early, you know, to get this out of the way and make tomorrow real simple.
Yeah. Cool.
The more important part of rigging, if you have to hit every point exactly, or you don't know where things can shift and change, you won't have the flexibility to get it done in a reasonable amount of time. And that's just experience. I don't know, I find it easy. But that's 20 years later. When I first started, it was a pain in the ass. First thing in the morning, we chalk the floor. Get to play with crayons. We use Crayola, different colors. You know why? Because people ask you, does the color mean anything? If you use white chalk, they never ask you that. Well, do the colors mean anything? Just makes my morning. No, they mean it means it's purple. This is the steel we're building here. Corresponds to the numbers that we figure out will make it hit that point. It's trigonometry, basically. And then experience. The upriggers are those guys up there. Upriggers are basically pulling rope and connecting where I tell them to. And we're hopefully hitting the marks on the floor, which we are.
Without the modern convenience of having symmetrical steel girders in the ceiling, this old arena is proving to be a challenge. All of the hanging elements required for tomorrow's show, lights, sound, and video screens, must be raised by chains secured to the ceiling above the stage. The hitch is that each of these chains must hit a mark or point that Fletch has mapped out with chalk on both the stage's surface and the arena's floor. Each of Fletch's points corresponds with a bracket or piece of lighting truss, the video screens, and the speaker system. There is no room for error here. If a chain does not align precisely with a point, it could cause the truss to twist or worse, stress it by throwing its balance weight off. If a piece of truss were to become stressed by supporting too much weight on one end, the entire section could break apart.
Rigging's not hard. It's what trained monkeys do. You know, I went to college for this. No, I didn't. They don't give a degree in this. All right, guys, our next thing we're building, we need a 20 down for this motor, and this one is a 20/20 deck chain the other way. You haven't done that one either. That's a lighting, too. And then we'll be out of points to build. Then all we got to do is figure out a way to get them up there. The problem, difficulty in rigging this building is you do not have a beam structure. It's a pre-stressed concrete roof, beams. You know, it was a poured one. And they put big eye bolts through and put rings on them to put it in. So you only have so many connection points, and that explains why all the bridles aren't nice and neat. You know, you pretty much Etch-a-Sketch it. You put the little marks on the floor where a ring is with your laser, and then you stand here and make a straight line and try to make something come out of it that looks like what you're trying to do. We have to make a lot of adjustments in this building that you'd normally walk up and these beams would be square, straight up and down, and I can accurately call bridles. Here you have to make a lot of small adjustments, which are time consuming.
On the Snakes and Arrows tour, John's second in command is rigger Chris Sorensen.
What I was mostly doing before I started on tour here was doing the upriggers job. We were walking around on the beams and doing mostly pulling, and it's a lot less thinking and it's a lot more sweating. So this isn't so bad down here on the ground. I was afraid of heights when I started, but people do it every day and live, so I could do it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's not so bad.
If you really screwed up, you could cause a catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
But boy, you'd have to really be messing up. Everything's built with a fairly heavy safety factor. And the motors, steel, are 5 to 1 or better. Your truss is your weakest link. It's about 2.5 times to 1. Everything else is completely overbuilt. But that's good.
Yeah.
Keeps things safe. You're hanging it over a lot of people's heads.
Honestly.
Your first concern is you not falling off the beam when you're up there, but you need to realize there's people working underneath you. And I've worked some jobs on like your high steel building television and radio towers and stuff, and if you drop something, you yell, and it's usually 20 seconds before it even hits the ground. But here, if you drop something, there's definitely someone working underneath you. They probably don't have a hard head on, and by the time you yell, it's already hit the ground. So it's paramount that you don't drop anything. You're careful, nothing comes down harder than you expect, and watch this thing, it's right over your head, speaking of which, so there you go. We're trying to move the bridle off stage a little bit further. There's just some different places you can connect it up top, and depending on where you connect it, makes a huge difference on where it's going to hit on the floor.
All right, what I'm seeing now that we got weight is not a very straight line. You seeing this, Chris? Bob? Now that we got weight on these long runs, we're running too far. Well, this is all a straight line right across here, so that one, this one, this one.
Whoa.
This one's perfect. This one ran too far on us, too. So probably pulling 3 links on each one. That may even be 4. All right, here, Chris. You and your porn star look, I don't feel right standing next to you like this.
Not comfortable. I need more personal space.
Yeah. Ah, lovely. Perfect. That'll work. Normally we do it in a pretty timely fashion. I mean, that's it. You know, obviously first safety, but then you've got to have a little bit of speed. Otherwise, you do, you know, where I've got a 12-man call, the production's got 40 guys on working his hands. So you can figure out the numbers as far as where the bill goes. If we run late, then they run into another hour.
Yeah.
And it starts, you know, rolling right on downhill into money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually think it's a little less tedious than what some of the other guys do, because ours changes every day, really. All the ceilings are different, so we need to come in here and look and see what we have up there and make the points hit and adjust to what's up in the ceiling, where everyone else comes in and the motors are hanging in the same place every day, everything's done, and they're doing the same thing the same way every day, where we got to come in and think about how we're going to make it happen first, and then we can start to get into our little rhythm. So it's not bad, because you do need to think about something different every day and kind of solve some problems and use your math and use your experience and figure out how to make it work the same for everyone else every day.
Chains whipping at you.
We do start the day and end it. There's no doubt about it. And it does set the pace for everybody else because obviously all these people are putting their stuff in the air and they can't do a damn thing until we're done.
Right.
After 6 painstaking hours, the Colisée pre-rig is complete. All the hanging points are now in place, ready for tomorrow when the rest of the road crew is set to arrive at 8 a.m. Rush has played this 57-year-old hockey arena many times throughout their career. As a result, the tour's production manager, Craig Blazer, has planned well in advance to have John Fletcher's team come in on what was a scheduled day off for the rest of the 40-man crew. The tour has been out on the road for 4 months now, and Quebec marks the 43rd show in a planned 48-day tour. This is certainly a road-weary crew, and both the production manager and Rush appreciate how hard everyone is working with 5 shows to go.
We have an amazing crew. We've had a lot of different crews over the 400 years that we've been touring, and it always amazes me the level of professionalism and the seemingly tireless effort that they put in for us. They're 100% pros, and it's a long day for those guys. And they're always in great humor too, which is, you know, a testament to their personalities.
Hello, my name is Howard Ungerleider. I'm the lighting designer and director for Rush, and I have been for the past 33 years. Over 1 billion served. Here comes the blackout. Spots ready? That's good, man. Go.
Howard's been with us since 1974. He began as our tour manager, and we quickly noticed that he had a huge talent for lighting and colors, and gradually he kind of grafted himself into that being his primary concern. And all of us together designed the show, and he's the main lighting designer, certainly, and his ideas are profound and have a great effect on the end result.
What I do is I do light choreography. So I take the lyrics of the song, the music of the song, and being a musician, I actually choreograph all the effects and all the cues to lyrics and execute that on the beats. I'm able to keep that human element going and execute the cues with the band to make sure all the timing is spot on.
Cool. Nice. All right. Part 1. Wow. That part looks cool. That's the part that looks cool. All the other stuff at the beginning, that doesn't look so cool. That looks like he's talking about math. He's talking about heights. That doesn't sound fun at all. That sounds no fun. This looks cool. Yeah, he's like, all right. Friggin' name is Ungerleider. You're the lighting director? Oh my God, you're made for that. You're born for it. Okay, cool. All right. I mean, part 1. We got a couple of parts of this light section, and it looks like the band has showed up, and they're gonna be speaking to the camera. That's cool. I don't think they were in were they in the sound part at all? I don't even remember. It's cool to see, and I see that you guys, recognize just all the insanity and just all the different moving parts of putting on these shows and appreciate all of it. It's wild. It's wild. It's just a lot of people. It takes a lot of people to make this happen. And it's wild that so many of them, they have themselves and they just bring on the road with them, like just their people. It's not just like a handful. It's freaking 40. Yeah, that's a lot. Seems like a lot. I wonder how many people they pull locally. Like local union people or people just from the venue. Yeah, I wonder how many people get pulled locally. Anyways, cool. All right, we're going to be on to part 2. I'll catch you in that video.